Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Bleacher Report's Bring the Noise. I'm Danny Kleppinger here with that lunatic, Brad Evans, like we are every single Sunday, excuse me. We're going to go through the entire slate. Brad, how was your Saturday? Because mine in Tennessee was less than impressive.
It was a profitable day for me on the college football betting gridiron, so I will take that. It wasn't shocking or extraordinary, but I finished up a couple of units. So again, it wasn't too shabby. My ILL, we're on a 1 week siesta, so I'm already preparing mentally for their next matchup on the road, and of all places, Seattle, Washington, taking on the Huskies.
And we'll talk about Seattle and that Monday night game in the NFL a bit later on. But of course, we're going to go through every single slate left on the docket for this week 7 action. As a reminder, if you're just joining us for the first time, or if you're here every single week, we take questions throughout the entire show. Who should you start? Who should you sit? Who's a bust? Who's a boom pick or a bank pick for us? We've got your back. You can type in these questions in both the Bleacher Report app or on YouTube. We're looking at both of them and monitoring them. Brad, right away, Football Pro wants to know, if you had to sit one, would it be Achane, Javonte, or Brees? Got to be specific with these Javantes.
Yeah, it's going to be Achane for me. Look, weather is going to play a factor. We're going to get in that game there along the shores of Lake Erie between the Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are just so stout in the trenches. They're top 5 in RCPA defense. Achane may do some damage in the pass game, but you got spectacular alternatives that I simply cannot sit.
Oh, well, let's start with that, shall we? Let's go to Dolphins Browns. Browns are favored by 2.5. Obviously, Tua Tagovailoa and Myles Garrett are both frustrated with their team's 1-5 starts to start the season. This is going to be an interesting one, Brad, in terms of weather. You have a meteorology degree, so why don't you nerd out for a moment in this one?
Yeah, low pressure system, also known as a mid-latitude cyclone, is going to be sweeping across the Great Lakes region with a trailing cold front. So you're going to have some warm temperatures to start in the game. Winds blowing out of the south, anywhere between 25 to 30 miles an hour sustained. That means consistent winds with gusts approaching 45. Now, you might see a little bit of a lull around halftime, early in the third quarter. Then on the backside of that front, the wind's going to whip around again and really whip up. So it could be back in that 25 to 30 mile an hour sustained with gusts approaching 45 miles an hour. And you're going to have consistent, steady, light to moderate rainfall throughout the entire game. So sloppy conditions, which means who's going to be a mutter? My guy will.
Oh, go ahead. You can keep going. Why is Judkins going to get a lot of yards?
Judkins is must-start material in fantasy in my mind this week. I got him at RB2. Yes, the RB2 of all of the running backs on the list this week. Why are the Dolphins absolutely stink in the trenches? Number 30 in rush EPA defense. Giving up 5.59 yards per carry, 134.3 rush yards per game just to RBs. And Judkins has been a break tackle machine. This could be a 25-carry game. I say he goes for at least 100 yards, and I also feel he's going to score a touchdown. Again, get his butt in your lineup and reap the benefits in the end.
Well, Tua is in your lineup. I'm sorry, everybody. Not only just for this whole season, but obviously already down Tyreek Hill. You're talking about the weather here. If you look at his passing yard number, it's at 190.5. He's probably going to go under that. Cleveland's allowed the fewest points per game at 13.7 this season. And Tua's only gotten the over on his passing prop 3 of 6 games this season, but only once in road matchups. And, with this weather situation, it's not looking too spicy. Let's get to Patriots Titans. Patriots, excuse me, are favored in this one by 6.5. This one's happening in Nashville. Brad, what are you looking at?
Make or break week for Travion Henderson. This is the week. Maybe I say that until I'm blue in the face. It'll be a whole bunch of Ramondre Stevenson as a result. But I'm going to take the over on 33.5 rush yards. I think this is going to be at least 10 grips on the ground for Henderson's got some flexy, sexy appeal there in 12-team leagues. Why? The Titans are craptastic in the trenches. Here's the evidence that backs that up. Number 27 to rush EPAD, giving up 4.65 yards per carry, 114.2 rush yards per game. I know Henderson is not exactly been efficient, but he's going to get his opportunities. I'm going to say 50+ combined yards, and dare I say a touchdown? Yeah, if he gets there, gets that double-digit output, he'll definitely reap the benefits for his backers that are out there in fantasy land.
Well, I'm just so impressed with Drake May. I don't know how you couldn't be. So I like the
Right.
over 229 and a half passing yards. I like him over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I think he's going to have a huge game. And yes, the Titans haven't actually had that many quarterbacks go over 230 yards against them this season, but Daniel Jones, Kyler Murray came awfully close. I think Drake May's just going to air it out. So I think he's going to have a huge game. You guys are typing in these questions, which is exactly what we want. Bleacher Report app and on YouTube. Brad, Dowdle or Devontae Smith? B7 wants to know on YouTube.
Oh man, I'm gonna rock with Rico Herrera Dowdle. And he's certainly going to be a suave there in the box score. Look, I understand that True Hubbard's back. I understand there's concerns about the workload. Canales has already come out and said it's going to be, one series on, one series off. But I think ultimately the hot hand is going to prevail. And nobody has more fiery fingers than Rico Dowdle coming off a 200-yard and 183-yard back-to-back games. He's top 5 in yak per attempt. I think it's going to be 60-40 at worst in terms of the workload split. And how can you not like the matchup against the Jets for number 28 in rush EPA defense? So start Rico with confidence. I'm going to say 60-70 combined yards and a touchdown as well.
Alex Rod is with us every single week. He wants to know, should he start Caleb Williams or Jordan Love? And then in the flex position, should he have Ramondre Stevenson or Devontae Smith?
Ramondre for me, I think he's going to find the end zone. I want nothing to do with Devontae Smith against the stiffest and stoutest secondary in the league. And I'm going to go with Jordan Love. Again, weather is playing a factor in Cleveland. Not as harsh in Chicago, but it will be influential. Again, the winds are going to be gusty there. 20 or so miles an hour sustained with gusts approaching 35. So that definitely reduces the potential there for Caleb Williams. Arizona right now on the struggle bus. I think Jordan Love has a multi-TD performance this afternoon.
You guys can't tell. Brad loves this time of year when he gets to throw on his meteorology degree hat on and tell you all about the weather and wind gusts. David over on the Bleacher Report app wants to know Hubbard or Marvin Harrison Jr. today.
I want to with you with Chuba Hubbard. I think it's going to be like 30-40% of the opportunity share. What does that equate to in terms of touches? Like maybe 10 to 12. Harrison, I think, has more upside against a Packers secondary that has had their weak moments. So he's going to be peppered with targets. Give me him, even with Jacoby Brissett at the controls.
Jay Lee over on YouTube. Flex full PPR league. Kamara, Bourne, or Waddle?
Waddle, I'm going to sit because of the weather. Kamara, I'm also going to sit because of the Bears have been incredible, really, of late in the trenches defensively, and he's sharing the workload there with Miller. So give me option number 3 and the Bourne identity.
Wandale or Cup? Dr. C. Him over on the app wants to know.
How about what's behind door number 3? Please and thank you.
Not an option, Brad. Pick between the two.
I guess I'll go with Cooper Kupp. I don't want any vertical options going against arguably the best secondary in the NFL, the Denver Broncos.
Let's get to Raiders Chiefs. Chiefs favored by 12.5 in this one in Arrowhead. The Raiders are looking for a win before their bye week. I don't know if that's going to happen. Just seeing what this line is at. Chiefs have really turned their season around, won 3 of their last 4 games. A potent offense has scored over 28 points in the last 3 outings. All you Swifties out there, I think Travis Kelce could have a really big day. Only because his prop is at 38.5 receiving yards. Seems super small. I do think he's going to be relied on more and more as the season progresses. He's gone over this number in 5 of their 6 games this season. So I like Travis Kelce to have a decent day. I can't say a huge day considering that's such a low number, but a decent enough. And you like Rashee Rice now that he's returning for the Chiefs.
Yeah, look, here's the deal. Patrick Mahomes always loves to spread the love around. So Rice has got to have his moments. Your boy Travis Kelce's got to have his moments. Hollywood Brown will have his moments. Xavier Worthy will have his moments. But I think Rashee Rice will splash 6. He's going to be emphasized early on and really often in this game. A guy I remember a couple of years ago when he played a full season was top 10 in total red zone targets, had 7 TDs. He scored in 2 of 3 full games last year before he exited stage left. And look at Viva Las Vegas, their bottom half in drop back EPA defense. They've given up 6 wide receiver touchdowns. I think Rice crosses the chalk and parties. Welcome back, Rashee Rice. I love him at plus 140 in the anytime TD market.
Let's talk about that Saints-Bears game. We've already brought it up a little bit in terms of weather. The Bears are favored by 4.5 in this game, but over in the chat, Thar wants to know how you feel about the Bears defense this week.
Never great. Look, I will say this: the Bears are starting to tighten up, as I mentioned in the trenches. They are now top 10 in rush EPA defense on the season, but the pack end, man, they're still rubbish. They got a lot of work to go. I know the wind's going to be playing a factor. They're a
Mhm.
modest at best. I mean, maybe like barely a top 15 unit this week. So temper your expectations. They're not going to go ballistic, even with Spencer Rattler under center for New Orleans.
Speaking of Spencer Rattler, you think he's going to throw a couple tidies?
I do. Garbage time still counts, folks. And a lot of people trash. Oh, my guys aren't doing anything. Let it breathe, man. Let it go all the way until the final buzzer in the
Mhm.
game. He could maybe clean up and come out smelling like a rose there in garbage time. I think he's going to get over on 1.5 passing touchdowns. Yes, I bet on it at plus 140. Bears number 23 in drop back EPA defense. 4 quarterbacks have thrown for 2 or more touchdowns against them this season, as they've given up 13 passing touchdowns overall. I know Rattler's only done this once, but I think he's going to double that output on the year. So give me Rattler, nice plug and play option in a bye week. If you need somebody, I'm talking to Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson fans. Rattler, decent guy to go for maybe 200 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Speaking of touchdowns, the Rams just scored again, about to extend the lead
Again.
at 28-0.
It is an absolute beatdown over there in London. Sorry, Jag fans. Yikes. Maybe just start your day over, take a quick nap, and
Yeah.
restart. But speaking of this Bears game, it's always funny to me when you don't take somebody on Chicago's roster just because you are such a Bears fan. But I do think Caleb Williams is going to have a really big game. He's gone over 220 and a half yards in 2 of the last 3 weeks, and the Saints have given up 2 or more passing touchdowns in every game this season. So if you take the over on passing yards, over on touchdowns, you might get yourself some juicy play there. Let's get back to the chat here. Sir T, Scattaboo, or Rashid White?
I'm going to go Rashad White, man. I think Rashad White's going to be a baller and shot caller. He got a high total in that game in the low to mid 50s, depending upon what book you shop at. So listen to the odds makers. White's got to splash 6 and probably catch at least 5 balls. So play him.
Keep these questions coming in. John over on YouTube says, good morning from Houston, Texas. Hello. Should I start Evans or Johnston?
Man, that's tight. I mean, when Mike Evans working his way back, his player prop total right now is at 68.5, which is sky high. You know what? I clack and roll the dice. I can't, shy away from a game that could be played in the high 20s in the end. Give me my cousin, Mike Evans.
Yep. Can see the family resemblance, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Derek, over on YouTube, full PPR league, tight end Waller or Fannin. Is Waller for sure playing this week? Have you seen the latest update?
I mean, he's turning in the right direction that he's going to be able to go. But again, the weather's going to be impacting both these guys. What we
Keep
do
an
know
eye
about
out.
Fannin, he's a nickel and dimer. So he's a guy that, chews up a lot of the short gain passes. So Dylan Gabriel's built a nice little rapport with him. Give me Fannin. I think he's got the higher floor.
Hey, Slugs, over on the Bleacher Report app, Hollywood Brown, Pittman, or Matt Golden, sit 1, must start 2.
Hollywood Brown's in my lineup because he's got the mother of all matchups facing Caillou Blue Kelly, who's given up the most yards of any defensive back in the NFL. And I'm going to go with Matthew Golden, really kind of taking on that Jaden Reed role. He's a guy that can get to yards through the air and occasionally on the ground. He's due, man, way overdue to score a touchdown through the air. I think it happens today in Zona.
Okay, let's get a couple more here before we keep rolling through these games. We'll go through pretty quickly here. Get wants to know Jared Goff or Drake May?
Oh, man. It's a lucky 7 situation. Can't lose. Slight advantage, Drake May.
I would agree with you there. Hello, over there on the app, McBride or Ferguson?
Trey McBride can't sit him with Ferguson having to deal with CD Lamb back. The target share may reduce somewhat.
Hey, Ruby, also on the Bleacher Report app, Mason Tyler or Kyle Pitts. It's a half PPR.
Mason Taylor. I already gambled on him 50 or more receiving yards this week. I think he's going to be a point of emphasis without Garrett Wilson in uniform.
Let's talk about this Eagles-Vikings game next. Remember, we're going through every single game on the slate today, and then we'll get to those 2 Monday night games as well. Eagles are favored by 2. They're fresh off their mini bye week, and they can try and get right on the road against the Vikings. Minnesota has a chance to prove that they can contend with the NFC's best in this one. What do you think, Brad? Justin Jefferson, a big day or not so much?
I think it's an average day. I think the player prop at 77.5 of receiving yards is a little bit too high. I would live in the land down under DK on that. I understand Philadelphia is middle of the pack, number 15 in drop back EPA defense. But Quinyon Mitchell is a baller and shot caller, one of the best cover men in the game, only giving up a 61.5 passer rating, 9.3 yards per catch, 48.6 catch rate overall. So Justin Jefferson, again, you're not going to sit him, but temper your expectations. I say it's like 6 catches, 70 yards, not a tick more.
I get it if you're looking at your Saquon Barkley on your roster and you're like, where is this performances that we started to see last season? But honestly, if there's ever a defense to get going against, it's the Vikings. They've allowed 132 rushing yards per game. The only reason that that's slightly lower is because Cincinnati, when they played them, played terrible on the ground. So it's almost like skewed. Those numbers are insane. This is the get right day for Saquon Barkley, over 73.5 rushing yards if you're looking at a prop for him. But I do think you should be happy if he's on your roster today. Back over on the app, Bia wants to know Boutte, Charbonnet, or Hunter at flex.
Boutte, Charbonnet, Hunter's already playing, so he's already off the list. So, hey, people, there's football. I got to realize some of these London games.
London games throw people.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Booty. Smack it.
Okay. Olave, Waddle, or Rico?
Olave, Waddle, or Rico. It's Uncle Rico, and it's really a romp.
Oh, good. That brings us to that Panthers-Jets game. The Panthers are favored by 1, which is, this is a pathetic situation. But if you have Dowdle, this will be fun for you because both Brad and I could not sing his praises more today. Brad, why don't you tell everyone why?
Look, Rico Dowdle, people, don't doubt him. I understand it's going to be one series on, one series off, but again, the hot hand is going to rule the day, and he's got the hottest hand, arguably in the entire NFL, going 206 on the ground, 183 rush yards in back-to-back games. He's RB4 in yak per attempt. He's top 15 in total missed tackles forced, and it's the Jets. The single-engine Cessnas, I call them, as they have a number 28 ranking in rush EPA defense. 4 guys have gone over this. I like the over on 62.5 rush yards. It took him anytime touchdown as well at plus 125. Rico Dowdle will be a top 15 fantasy running back in week 7.
Absolutely going to double down with you on that one. He's got 5.8 yards per carry now through the first 6 weeks. And we're talking about a Jets team that's allowing 4.3 yards per carry. 64 yards doesn't seem like too much. So I completely agree with you there. Dowdle should get over that. No problem. Doubling down with you on that one. Back over in the chats on the app. Let's see who's next. Cacio e Pepe. Sounds delicious. Would you start Swift or Jeanty?
Ashton Jeanty. Look, DeAndre Swift is in with a groin injury, and he was full go earlier in the week, and then he was limited in back-to-back sessions. There's no guarantee his volume, his workload is going to shine today.
Iomanor, Horton, Tez Johnson, or B. Knight at the flex position?
Tez Johnson. I'm going to go Bam Knight. Again, he's going to be the primary goal line weapon in this offense. And the Green Bay Packers have been somewhat suspect in the trenches. They're number 18 in rush EPAD. Give me Bam.
Luke McCaffrey or Vidal?
Kamani Vidal. I love both these guys. I really do. I think Luke McCaffrey could absolutely ball out today against the worst secondary in the league, but guaranteed volume. That is the story with Kamani Vidal. I ride him.
Continue to send in your questions, both the Bleacher Report app and YouTube. We are monitoring both chat boxes there. Chase over on the app, Boutte Diggs or Trey Tucker?
Ooh, Trey Tucker's interesting, especially with Jacoby Myers and Brock Bowers out, and they're massive underdogs. You know what? I gamble. Give me Trey Tucker.
Ooh, Chuck wants to know Daniel Jones, Justin Fields, or Carson Wentz.
Well, I'm going to go with a higher floor. I know Justin Fields may have the bigger ceiling, but man, that floor is incredibly low. He does have a tremendous matchup against Carolina, but give me Danny Dimes. Really, no, he goes by Indiana Jones, I think now.
You said it with a question mark. Giants fans, aren't sure how to feel about him. That's for sure. I don't think they're thrilled that he gets to be called Danny Dimes yet again. But Let's talk about Giants for a second. They're playing against the Broncos today. Broncos are favored by 8. Broncos trying to extend their winning streak to 4 games. That's crazy. This is a confident Giants team, though, that just upset the Eagles. That was very surprising. Brad, what do you think is going to happen in this one?
By the way, Travis Hunter, congratulations. The Jacksonville Jaguars finally scored a touchdown, so that was impressive. Really nice day for him. He's cleaning up here in the second half. Garbage time, you can come out smelling like a rose. And
Mhm.
I think that may be the case today for Jackson Dart. I'm going to take the over on rush yards. The number has come down from 48.5. It's at 38.5 right now at BetMGM. He's going to run the ball at least 7 to 10 times, as he usually is. They call him Vanilla Vic for a reason. He calls his own number early and often, a lot of impromptu scrambles. The Broncos, if there is a weak point, and there are very few in this defense, it's in the trenches. They're number 12 in rush EPAD, but I think Jackson Dart will be scurrying his long legs, and I think he gets to at least 40 rush yards today.
Let's look at that Colts Chargers game next. Chargers are favored by 2. Chargers obviously trying to continue their winning ways here, but the Colts are going into this one with a 5-1 record, best mark in the AFC. But it is the Chargers that are favored in this one. You and I both like Jonathan Taylor to have a really big game. You found a way to find it at plus money. I think just his normal prop of 89.5, he should go over because, quite frankly, Brad, the Chargers have just flat out struggled to stop the run this season.
Yeah, they've done a miserable job really trying to contain it. Jonathan Taylor, 100 plus rush yards. It's down. I grabbed a plus 115 earlier the week there in the alt market at BetMGM. Now at plus 105, and of course they still play it. I mean, he's the offensive player of the year frontrunner for all the damn reasons. You mentioned the Chargers really struggling up front. They're number 23 in rush EPAD entering the week, giving up 4.95 yards per carry, 88.3 rush yards per game just to running backs. JCM, also known as Bill, and Devon Achane, they both had 100-yard games on the ground. Taylor is just racking the yak, demoralizing, steamrolling over fools. Could be more of the same. He's hitting the 100-yard mark on the ground. He is my RB1 of ones in week 7.
And that's knowing that the Lions are still playing. And you love David Montgomery at all times. And Notorious wants to know if you should start David Montgomery or Kendrick Bourne for the flex position.
You're going to be shocked by this, but I am going to start Kendrick Bourne.
No way. I am shocked. That's wild.
I might be sickly. I must be feverish. I'm unwell, DK.
Someone check on Brad's well-being. Yeah, that's shocking.
Yeah, seriously, I better schedule a doctor's appointment ASAP. Look, here's the deal, folks. Vita Vea exists, and I don't know if you hear Hall & Oates there in the background. He's a man-eater. And the reason why Tampa is number 1 in the NFL in rush EPA defense, Montgomery is a between the tackles monster. Yes, but the bigger, more fearsome monster is Vita Vea. Under 40 rush yards, maybe a couple of grabs. He is touchdown or bust, and I don't think he's going to cross at chalk. So give me Kendrick Bourne.
Okay, well, speaking of another Lions player that's not Montgomery, Laporta or Goddard, R. Smith wants to know. Who would you start?
Man, Dallas Goedert has been balling. I have both these guys inside my top 6 of the tight end position, but ever so slight edge to Sam Laporta because, again, you can't run on Tampa, but you sure as hell can throw on him.
Bug over on the app, Kamara or A.J. Brown? I lean A.J. Brown. What do you think?
I don't like either one of these guys this week, but sure. A.J. Brown.
Ravens on the app wants to know Rachaad White or Javonte full PPR.
Oh, man, both these guys inside my top 10 this week. I'll go with Juggernaut Javonte just because I think that game might be first to 60 wins. I'm only half joking.
A PPR league, start Michael Pittman or Tucker Kraft at the flex position.
Tucker Kraft, please. Next.
B7 wants to know, do we like Tony Pollard or J.K. Dobbins for a flex spot?
Never Tony Pollard, always J.K.
All right. Bloom on the app, Olave or Jalen Coker?
Chris Olave, I understand the weather may play a little bit of a factor, but this is Coker's first game in eons, so there might be a little bit of rust buildup.
Ferguson or Warren at tight end? Mark over on the Bleacher Report app wants to know.
Oh, Tyler Warren. Oh, my goodness. He could have a day. I think it's going to be at least 75 yards, and I think he finds the end zone as well.
You know, we've talked about these guys a little bit, but Conor on the YouTube chat wants to know Kendrick Bourne or Kenneth Walker at the flex position.
I'll go Kendrick Bourne. The problem with Walker is he's on a full-blown timeshare, and you get the Houston Texans. We're number 3 in rush EPA defense. They're swallowing running backs whole. I don't like the matchup. I don't like the situation. Give me Bourne.
We got 5 more games to get through, including those 2 Monday Night Football games. So let's keep this rolling, shall we? Commanders, Cowboys, Dallas favored by 1.5. Expecting kind of a big shootout on this one. Big, high-scoring offenses, struggling defenses. Jaden Daniels to go over 228 passing yards. I like quite a bit. You like him to throw quite a bit of touchdowns as well.
Yeah, I like the over on 1.5 passing TDs, which he's done in 2 of 4 starts this season. It's the Cowpokes, folks. They're
Yeah.
stanky. They're absolutely repulsive in every form and fashion defensively. Dead last in drop back EPA defense. They've given up 15 passing touchdowns. 5 quarterbacks already have thrown for 2 against them. And bonus time, DK. Luke McCaffrey, folks. I know I've got a lot of questions about him, Jalen Lane, Chris Moore, without Terry McLaurin. Without as well Debo Samuel. Zach Ertz is a guy who could really eat, but I think Luke McCaffrey, I took the over on his receiving yards prop earlier in the week. It was a much lower number. I think right now it's at 37.5. I still play that over. And I think McCaffrey is going to be a top 30 fantasy asset this week. So if you
Wow.
really want to shock your opponent, play Luke McCaffrey and laugh all the way to the end and the W and the bank.
Love that so much. Let's get to Green Bay and the Cardinals. Packers are favored by 7, coming off a Week 6 win over the Bengals, sitting atop of a very competitive NFC North here. All right, who are you looking at? Tucker Kraft?
Yeah, I'll pour myself a crap beer. I'll take the over on 44.5 receiving yards. Arizona middle of the pack, number 16 drop back EPA defense, but they're giving up 69.5 yards per game. The plus size targets 4 have already hit the 45-yard mark against them. And the thing about Kraft, he is numero uno in yards per target among tight ends. Numero uno in yards per catch at the position at 14.9. It's going to be 50 plus today, especially considering the injuries that are at play in that wide receiver core for the Green Bay Packers. So Kraft through and through a top 5 tight end for fantasy.
Well, I'm going with a golden beer if you're going with craft beer because over 48.5 receiving yards is mighty enticing
Love it.
because he's gone over this in his last 3 games. Obviously, had 86 yards against Cincinnati last time out, but I feel like it'll take like a couple catches for him to go over this number. So I like him to have a really big day as well. Before we get to that Sunday night football game, let's get back to the chats over on the Bleacher Report at Mac Jones or Jackson Dart.
Mac Jones or Jackson Dart. I'll go with him. Make it, Mac, daddy.
G Riviera, Diggs or Judy.
Stephon Diggs. It's not remotely close.
Ramondre Stevenson, Kendrick Bourne, flex position.
Interesting. If it's a PPR format, actually go Kendrick Bourne. If it's a standard format, I think Stevenson's going to splash 6. Could be a low yardage output, but I think he crosses a chalk.
We still have 3 more games to get to, including those Monday Night Football matchups. But keep your questions coming in. Of course, we're approaching nearly 30 minutes until kickoff. Buzz over on the Bleacher Report at Henderson, Golden, or Iomanor in the flex position.
I'm going to go with Matthew Golden in bonus time, DK. Bonus time. I also took the over on 5.5 rush yards. I like that bet a lot.
KJ Walker, Caleb Williams, or Drake May.
Walker, Caleb Williams, Drake May. Drake May.
Pittman or Marvin Harrison, B. Draper wants to know.
Give me Marvin Harrison, even with Jacoby Brissett under center.
YouTube chat, OG Champ, Jordan Addison or DJ Moore?
Ugh. DJ Moore, reluctantly.
Oh my goodness. Can we get to this Falcons Niners game, please? Niners favored by 1.5. Falcons all of a sudden look like one of the hottest teams in the NFC after upsetting the Super Bowl favorites, the Buffalo Bills, on Monday Night Football. Injured 49ers trying to bounce back to that tough loss to Tampa Bay. Yikes, 30-19. That's rough. I do think Kyle Pitts should have a decent game. He's averaging 44.6 receiving yards. His props at 38.5. So you do the math there. There's quite a bit of a lopsidedness to that. He's facing a 49ers defense that just lost Fred Warner for the foreseeable future. So because of that, I do think that Kyle Pitts can go over his prop today. Brad, who are you looking at in that Niners-Falcons game?
I'm going to live in land down under. Everybody's like, oh, he's back. I got to play him. George Kittle. I took the under on yards when it opened at 53.5 at BetMGM. It's down in the high 40s. Who is he? Wolverine? Deadpool? Like with a rejuvenation, quick healing power? The guy tore his hamstring. Now, it wasn't off the bone. He'd been out for the year if that were the case. But usually that's like a months-long recovery, and it only took him 5 weeks. It's crazy. Maybe it's a Little Caesars. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm with George Kittle, but I cannot trust him. Jake Tom just played really well in his absence, and Atlanta's allowed the fewest tight end yards. They've only given up 88 receiving yards to tight ends all year. So Kittle, good luck. It might be 3 for 35. That's about it.
You guys are getting a lot of these questions into this chat. We've gone over every Sunday game. We've got 2 Monday Night Football games to get to. Brad, very quickly, let's get through some of these questions over on the app and YouTube. Over on the Bleacher Report app, Pete wants to know Wandale, Butte, or Pacheco.
Kayshon Boutte again.
Vidal, K, Allen, Olave, full PPR. You need to pick two for Colts King.
Vidal, and it was Olave. What was the third one? Do you remember?
Yeah, Keenan Allen.
Oh, Keenan Allen. Yeah, definitely Keenan Allen over Olave.
Okay. Needs two for Estelle over on the Bleacher Report app. Dobbs, Jameson Williams, or Trey Tucker.
Needs two, J-Mo and Trey Tucker.
Jay on YouTube, full PPR, flex one, Alex Pierce or Devontae Smith.
Ooh. Again, I want nothing to do with Devontae Smith. You know what? I clack and roll the dice. Alec Pierce is also a big play machine. Take your chances.
Vidal or Ramondre in a half PPR league, Robbie wants to know.
Yeah, see, the PPR element is what really sways me. Ramondre's just, again, been the picture of inefficiency. Kamani Vidal.
DJ wants to know, should I just cross my fingers on Evans or play Waddle?
No, you're going to cross your fingers and play Evans. Look, folks, they have all the prop lines posted at the sports books. That is a clear-cut sign that he's likely going to play. He's been trending in the right direction. You want nothing to do, given the meteorological impacts of that Cleveland game and the associated people in the passing attacks.
Folks, we appreciate you joining us. We're 30 minutes away from kickoff now. Let's talk about these 2 Monday Night Football games coming up tomorrow. Lions favored by 6 against the Bucks. This one's going to be a big stage. The Bucks are going to try to slow down Jared Goff and the second highest scoring team. What do you think will happen in this one, Brad?
I love Cade Otton. Again, I think this is going to be the week for tight ends, with the exception of George Kittle. I think Otton's going to absolutely ball out. We'll see if Emeka Egbuka go. It's shocking that he's a full-blown game-time decision. Yeah. Everybody thought he was for sure going to be out. We know that Chris Godwin's not going to suit up. Mike Evans will be working his way back. Cade Otton could be sneaky good in this game. I got him for 50-plus yards, and I grabbed that at plus money. You look at the matchup again. Detroit is a team that's allowed quite a few pass yards this season. Number 13, no one pass EPAD. They've given up 52.6 yards per game of the tight end position. Otton's gone for 132 combined in back-to-back games. I think it's 50 plus and a touchdown for him. I like him quite a bit. Going to be a top 5 tight end this week.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, 6 touchdowns already this season, and in just 6 games, but he hasn't scored in the last 2. He's so good at home. 5 of his scores have come in Detroit's 2 home games. He's found it only once in 4 road contests, so I actually think that he's going to get into the end zone not tonight, on Monday night rather. Laporta or Ferguson, though, Brad Anonymous wants to know.
By the way, Devontae Adams was his 3rd touchdown.
Wow.
Hat trick of the game, as the Rams really pouring it on. Give me Ferguson.
Okay. Ramondre Stevenson or JCM?
JCM. Again, you want all of the stock, all of the shares you could possibly get in Cowboys and Commanders.
Let's put a bow on week 7, shall we, with this Monday Night Football game between the Texans and the Seahawks. Seattle favored by 3. Seattle's figured out how to win on the road this season. Now has to figure out how to consistently win at home. What do you think is going to happen? Can they channel some of that Lumen Field magic?
Yeah, I think so. And this is a 4th straight mention of a tight end by me. Again, I think it's going to be a tight end week. Give me AJ Barner. I'll take the over on what I feel is an ultra soft line at just 25.5 and a minus 115 there at BetMGM. I understand Houston's number 3 in drop back EPA defense, but only the Dallas Cowboys have run more zone schemes than they have. Their zone rate at 80.1%. It usually is a setup for success for opposing tight ends. And Barner is a guy who's gone over this in 3 straight games. Could be sneaky good on the late night tip on tomorrow night. Maybe like 3 catches, 4 catches, 50 plus. All I need is 26 to cash. Love me some Barner.
Well, we've gone through every single game left on this week 7 slate, which means we are close to wrapping this up. We'll answer a few more questions here on both the Bleacher Report app and on YouTube. Thank you guys for joining us and getting this last-second fantasy football start-sit information. Boxta wants to know, Diggs or Wandale Robinson?
Diggs, come on, man. Don't get too cute with Wandale.
Buzz wants to know, Golden, Kamara, or Born full PPR?
Really close here. I'm gonna go Matthew Golden. Slide edge over Bourne.
Another full PPR league for R&R over on the app. Needs to bench one. Should it be Rico, Keenan, Ladd, or Brees?
Jesus. These are all fantastic options.
Embarrassment of riches.
It really is. I would kill to have this kind of a predicament. I guess Lad McConkey, but you're in a lucky 7 situation. You're not going to lose.
You're benching Ladd McConkey. I'm just making sure that that's what we've
Yeah,
gathered.
yeah. The other 3 I start.
Okay. J May, Nick Chubb, or Tony Pollard?
Oh,
Yikes.
barf.
He
This is
literally
more
says,
my
it
league
literally
speed.
says, pray for me. We're praying.
Yes, I guess Tony Pollard, but I don't feel great about it.
Greenfield, Swift, or Rico?
Rico.
And finally, John over on YouTube, would you guys pick up T. Higgins from the waiver wire and drop Shakir?
Yeah, you already played, bruh. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're already looking ahead to Tuesday.
Looking ahead,
Yes.
getting ready for next week.
Yeah, I mean, Flacco is proven that age ain't nothing but a number. So yeah, give me T. Higgins.
Speaking of next week, Brad and I will be here same time, same place, 12 p.m. Eastern to get you ready for your Sunday and Monday slate. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, sending in your questions. We will see you then. Enjoy your Sunday.
Adios, amigo.